Hey everybody, John Peterson here, and today I am super excited and super stoked. I got my Christmas present, or a present, whatever day it may be. I'm just happy it showed up. You know, I ordered a new camera this year to replace kind of a previous generation Fujifilm camera that I own. And I tell you, the day after pre-orders opened up, I put in my pre-order and I still ended up on back order. But the good news is just, you know, maybe 3-4 weeks later, I finally got my camera. Super stoked about it. It's right here in this magical little box. So let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, here we go. Alright, I don't need my paperwork. I don't need the packing. Dun, da, da, da. Get rid of the box. And there we go. Fujifilm X-T5. Super stoked, super happy to get it. Can't wait to actually use it in the field. So let's go ahead and open up the box and see what's inside. All right, as usual, Fujifilm packages their stuff extremely well. Gotta love it. There's a charging accessory pack, a little bit of cardboard, and right here inside is the camera. Packed extremely well. And you know, I had a chance to get a silver one right when I saw these around, and I chose to wait for the black. I really like the black a whole lot better than the silver. The silver looks nice. It's a little bit antique, but the black to me just is kind of what I wanted. And I knew this is a camera I'm going to keep for several years, so you know, it's one of those that's going to make me happy, and I wanted to wait to get the one that I wanted. So my first reaction initially, right out of the box, it feels like my other Fujifilm cameras. I own 3 or 4 of them now, and it feels like one of those. But what really strikes me right off the bat is that it feels smaller than even my X-T3, which this is a very close relative of the X-T3. I skipped the X-T4, being that it wasn't a ton of improvement over the X-T3 in terms of image quality. What it was a great hybrid camera for both video and stills. Since I'm primarily a still photographer, I didn't prioritize video super high, so I chose to stay with my 3 because image quality was just about equal, and I waited until this beauty came out. 40 megapixels, in-body stabilization, all the latest bells and whistles. They came back to the X-T3 tilt screen on the back, which is absolutely wonderful. I don't use the tilt screen a ton, but when I do, I like this screen far more than the flippy screen found on other cameras. So I'm really digging kind of coming back to this architecture and this form factor, and I can't wait to give it a try. I just got back from a winter workshop, photo workshop out in the Tetons, and I wish I would have had this with me for wildlife as well as landscape. Oh well, I didn't have it. You know, what's funny is I just about bought one in town, but I didn't want to pay the sales tax, because in Oregon here where I live, we don't have to pay sales tax, so I didn't want to spend that money. I knew I had it on pre-order. I knew I'd get it. I knew I'd get what I wanted eventually. And it happened. I just wish I would have had this out in the Tetons. However, I am in a little under a month heading off to Iceland for a photo workshop out there, and I'm going to put this through its paces throughout the south coast of Iceland. So aurora, landscapes, waterfalls, abstracts. Not a lot of wildlife out there, but we may catch some puffins or some other mammals around in the south coast, but it's really going to be a landscape workout for this camera coming up. I'll be curious to see how the image quality of this compares to my GFX50s that I have. That's a 50 megapixel medium format sensor. This is a 40 megapixel APS-C sensor. And I'm really curious to look at the image quality between the two files. I'm kind of a believer in pixel density, if you will, and cramming a ton of pixels on a small sensor doesn't give the same feel as the same amount of pixels across a larger sensor. So, 50 megapixels on a medium format sensor gives each pixel a lot of room to breathe. So micro contrast, micro color gradations, that type of stuff, I think really shines through, and I get this liquid feeling, this really organic analog liquid feeling out of the 50S. And I'll be curious to see how the files out of the X-T5 compare. So stay tuned for that. I'll be doing some comparisons of those coming up. But for right now, I'm just going to explore this wonderful camera and be super stoked to have it right before Christmas and accessorize the heck out of it. Speaking of accessories, a couple of the things I just wanted to call out that I bought that maybe you might want to buy. So with every camera that I buy, I always buy some extra batteries, especially the mirrorless ones, of course, because we burn through batteries because the sensor is charged continuously while the camera's on. So we tend to burn through batteries. Throughout my photographic career, I've bought OEM batteries and I've bought aftermarket batteries. And today, I am still running a mix of the two. I have found through all of my shooting that OEM batteries typically pack a denser charge to them, and so they last a bit longer. And so I will typically carry around a couple of OEM batteries. So in this case, Fujifilm MPW235 battery. Bought an extra one of these. One came with the camera, but I bought an extra one of those. And then I'll usually buy a couple of aftermarket batteries. And these are considerably cheaper. So this Fujifilm battery was $69, I think. I've got two of these batteries and a dual charger for, I think it was somewhere in the $40 range, $49 range. So these happen to come from Wasabi, W-A-S-A-B-I, and I'll put a link down below in the description. But this brand of aftermarket batteries I've had really good luck with over the years. All the way probably for the last 10 years. I've been buying Wasabi batteries to go along with my OEM batteries. So, it's a great way. So now I've got 4 batteries that will definitely last me the entire day. At the most I'll ever burn through is 3 batteries, but I typically do carry around 4 just in case. So I've got those 4 batteries. The other thing that I bought that I like is you probably can't see it here, but it's a soft release button. So it's another button that screws in up here on the shutter release button on the Fujifilm, and it just helps my finger find the shutter button a little bit easier and a little bit closer. So I usually will put one of these on, and after a couple of shoots they unwind and I lose them, or I put a little bit of Loctite, just a breath of Loctite on there, to make sure they don't unscrew and leave me. What I have on order is a L bracket for this camera. Every camera I buy, I put an L bracket on so I can go from landscape to portrait without moving my ball head or my tripod in any way, shape, or form. So L bracket, an essential piece of my photographic kit. Right now they don't, I'm not really finding any readily available that are custom tailored to the X-T5, so I've got a universal one on order, and then there's another company I've found, Small Rig Resellers, that is advertising one for the X-T5 that'll be available sometime in January. So I'll have those 2 X brackets coming. You know, and those are really all the accessories that I buy to get started with a new camera. I've already got all the memory cards, I've already got all the Fujifilm lenses, microphones, lights, anything else I may need, rain covers, all that kind of good stuff. So really it's just batteries and L brackets, and I'm up and running with the new X-T5 from Fujifilm. All right, folks, there you go. I'm happy, I'm stoked. I'm going to turn this video off and start playing with my new toy, or my new tool, as some people, these are tools, not toys. But in all seriousness, it's a fantastic camera, and I am super stoked to have it and carry on my Fujifilm ownership lineage for another few more years. And yeah, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.